getting the chicks out.
Remember to engage the rail.
You keep falling down, I keep pushing you out and wish you were gone. You keep falling down, I keep pushing you out and wish you were gone.
Did you see that?
Gotta get out there, I reckon.
If you ever talk to me,
Brings back good memories.
This episode is presented by Destination New South Wales.
That's what they want in the biz these days, the big tight swats.
Thanks,
Draw
Coach.
out your turns.
Thanks.
I'm going to go and get a bacon and egg burger and I'll see you after the heat.
Such good advice. Love it. So much love from the family.
The underdog, Kate Wilcomes, formerly known as Kate Skarratt. Grew up surfing speedboat wake on a river an hour inland, finished as a decorated big wave charger par excellence, and first ever female champ at the feared Tahitian reef pass of Chopu. A youth of hard graft on a Grafton farm taught Skaz a thing or two about grit and determination, which she used to maximum effect when the waves really turned up.
I moved around a lot when I was pretty little. We did have a year at Lennox Head when I was about 9, and I picked up a surfboard for Christmas. It caught my first green wave and I was absolutely addicted. Then moved to the country, went to Grafton with my dad. The surfboard stayed in the garage for a few years when I was about 14, so I didn't spend much time actually surfing. Growing up in Grafton, it was a lot of just, farm life and playing other sports, and it was great, but I definitely wanted to be away and at the beach. The local beach for me was Yamba, so I loved just getting down there as often as I could, but sometimes that meant months before I could get to the beach, and I'd sometimes take my board out on the river and just paddle around and wait for the pebble boat to come through, and it'd actually every now and again create a few little wakes, or if a speedboat went past, and I'd muck around and try and catch the tiny little ripples that would come in just out of desperation to try and stand up on a wave. But yeah, it was a bit of a sad one now I think back to it.
It's really amazing when somebody can not grow up around big, heavy, solid waves, but just, they just have that like animal instinct in them to go after it. So Kate's definitely one of those people.
She grew up in Angara, which is predominantly like a right-hand point break. So I don't know where she developed her big wave surfing from.
She always surprised me in how hard she charged, because, she's such a beautiful woman and she has such a feminine look to her. She didn't look like that type of woman that would just get on a board and drop in at Pipeline.
Gaz is just a mad woman. She would go on boat trips to Indo and she was always the first one out there on a big ledgy left pulling in, and she was just another one of those chargers. She had that inner where she just really wanted to push the boundaries and charge big waves.
Yeah, it was hard growing up, having the passion and drive and determination to want to improve my surfing, but then having a long period of time between getting to the beach. But I think it gave me determination, and definitely, I had the drive to make it happen. So perhaps being that far away from the beach actually enhanced me to be so determined and not give up.
She just threw it all on the line and threw herself over the ledge, and it was captivating to watch, shall we say.
Because I love telling a story, I'm going to tell you this story. I really clearly remember sitting at Main Beach at Yamba, and one of the older guys, if there was a bigger set that came through, they'd always go, "Come on, Kate, you'll go it," and I'd be like, yeah, just like a frothing little puppy ready for anything. It's probably only 4 foot, but I loved it when I could take off late and just get the feeling of a late drop, because I'd imagine myself being at a bigger place and being at a bigger wave location, and it was always something I just loved and inspired. When I'd seen those pictures on the walls of Pipe and places like that, it was something I wanted, that feeling.
Yeah, I loved having Kate on tour when the waves were solid, especially places like Chopes and Tabaru. It was so nice to have another goofy foot that was just charging.
She was never that great in small junky waves, but once again at those big wave spots, if you drew Kate, you knew that she was definitely a threat.
I only won one event on the CT, which is, I still feel pretty stoked about it. I won Chopu in Tahiti, which, is a great experience, and We didn't surf it at 12 foot or anything. It was pretty nice and comfortable size, but it was, yeah, there was a couple of ones that still get your heart going, and it's an amazing location, and it was great that we had the women there.
She was one of the female pioneers at Chopu. I think once again, Kate's another one of those underrated surfers. You know, people see these girls as being pint-sized and thin and feminine and petite and go, what do they got? And then you see them in these dangerous conditions and go, wow, these girls are amazing. Don't just judge them by the cover, actually see what's inside. And when they go out there and prove themselves, it's extraordinary to watch. Kate was really inspiring out at Chopu.
I just felt really proud that I'd made it, that I'd actually achieved a dream that felt like it was, to most people, probably unrealistic and unachievable. So I had different things on my boards and quotes. I was into lots of quotes, and yeah, I think just being inspired and following your dream and having people that you looked up to, it gave me a real passion, and just loved spreading that word. And I think you'd sit back occasionally on tour and I'd go, wow, this is an amazing thing to be part of. It's like a group of women all so inspired and driven and talented, and we all get to go and explore the world. So, you know, we'll have our heats, but then we'll go check out different things around the world and experience them together. So it's a pretty great time, and yeah, I just felt blessed to be part of it.
Kate's days chasing waves of consequence have given way to motherhood and one of the most important jobs in Australian surfing. Based in Pottsville near the Queensland-New South Wales border, she's got a fair bit of driving ahead of her, not to mention a serious juggling act if she wants to score waves at her old stomping ground of Yamba.
I feel like, you know, I wasn't close to winning a world title back in the day, but, you know, if I could just win a rivals heat against them, maybe that could give me a little tick that I was up against the world champs and I beat them.
We'll just be there for support, won't we, boys?
Yeah. It's going to be a juggle, trying to fit in the rivals heat with work and the fam. I reckon I just got to get it done real quick, like off the bat. Can't wait, can't muck around. As soon as there's a swell, I just got to pull the trigger. And I'm really indecisive. That's a hard one. So do I go early or not? No, I'm going to go early.
With a nice swell looming on the charts, Kate Wilcomes is ready to pull the trigger. Tune in after the break to see how she goes. Welcome back to Rivals.
Talked the family into coming for a little road trip down to the old stomping ground, test a couple of boards, maybe a bit of prep for the rivals heat tomorrow. We'll see what the conditions do. It's like prepping for the old days. Goodness, the nerves. It's exciting. I think I'm addicted. It's always good to come down to Angari. This is where Miko and I had our honeymoon, you know, a little cottage on the beach, perfect spot. Came with our puppy. Ash was in my tummy. It was very cute. Brings back good memories. I'd just nag my dad every holidays to come down for a paddle. But yeah, I usually had to either weed the paddocks, use the tractor, do whatever all weekend, and then at like Sunday afternoon he'd go, I don't think we've got enough time to go down to the beach now, and I'd be devoed. So I probably only came down maybe once a month, or when we had the Yamba board riders. I think that was when I really knew that I was addicted to competing and I just wanted to keep getting better. But this was always a special place, coming to the point, being able to surf a beautiful right-hand point break. You know, with so many more people travelling and wanting to come and visit these places, it's definitely a message to send out to those people, to making sure they look after the place they visit and respecting it and respecting the locals that have been here for a long time, for sure. And I think it's just an important message, no matter where you travel to in Australia, is, yeah, leave the beach as you left it. Maybe pick up 3 bits of rubbish before you go, just, yeah, give back a bit, and definitely think the community down here at Angari are really good, and in Yamba around making sure, yeah, people acknowledge and respect this place, and I want to pass that message on too. There's a couple out there for sure. Just got to remember to engage the rail. Even if I do a couple of little backside calves, I'll be happy. You reckon I should call the heat on, don't you? It's the excitement of not knowing, like, do you call the heat on, do you not, when do you do it?
It's 4 foot, wrapping the point and looking pretty dreamy. But Kate's decided to hold off calling her heat until tomorrow.
That last one was thick.
Oh, that kind of like
Kept it under the hook. I was like,
you know, I feel like it was a bit tighter.
tiny, you reckon?
Tighter, and then I could actually pull in, I reckon.
It's you.
Right, yeah. Right, I love your boards. But I'm going to try my chili. Oh, it's so fun just to get hassled out there. Oh, should we call the heat on? Have we got any snacks or any, like, hydrolyte for the old chook? No. That was so fun. I love surfing. I don't want to get out of the water. That should have been my heat really just then. But I did fall off a couple. Would have been nice on that combo if I'd made that one. There was a barrel I dodged on another one. So maybe we'll have a look at it this afternoon, and if it's no good, I'll go tomorrow. As you get a little bit older and lots of other things come up in your life, you can maybe put back the idea that you can surf how you used to surf, or that you can play any sport how you used to play it. And I think I feel really excited that I'm not on a mal and that I'm not, like, you know, just creeping up to my feet, because a few years ago I was honestly like hardly getting up and I was riding way thicker boards, and I went, no, I want to surf how maybe not as well as I used to, but still get a bit closer to it. And I feel like I'm actually inspired that I can keep getting better. I had for a little bit there given up a little bit and gone, maybe I am going to have to ride like way thicker boards, and I feel pretty stoked that I've been able to maintain my little 5.4s and 5.5s, and can hopefully inspire other crew that feel like they don't have the time to stay surf fit.
After the break, we find out more about this mother of two and her new role as the custodian of Australian competitive surfing's future. Yamba, 7 hours drive north of Sydney, is a charming seaside town on the northern tip of the Urugir National Park and the first port of call on the southbound Urugir Coastal Walk. Built at the mouth of the Clarence River, Yamba has plenty of places to eat and drink and an events calendar filled with festivals, markets and sports. Sample all the best locally caught seafood, including famous Yamba prawns, at fish shops and restaurants in town. And of course, stop in and surf a couple of the world-class waves.
That's a good size.
Oh, this one.
Living the dream. A little surf at the point. Prawns with the boys. Nothing better.
Not me.
Vance loves the camera.
No.
Not like his older brother and his mother who love it. Miko and Vance don't like the camera. Oh, and she's not wearing a helmet. Lovely. Nice helmet, bro.
You said I have to put on my helmet, but it's under all the stuff, so I can't get it.
Skate mums have a lot of rules. They're not allowed to speak in front of other people while at the skate park. Not allowed to talk about helmets. For all those young kids out there, definitely protect your brain. Oh, manual over the hump.
Kate is the high performance director at Surfing Australia, which means she's head of the whole high performance program, the talent pathway, the Olympic program. She's ahead of the pathway to the podium, and I'm so proud of her for stepping into that role and owning it.
I feel like I've taken on a lot and I want to do a really good job. I feel like and the sport is so close to me and I have such a passion to want to contribute. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a balance for me moving forward to make sure I can balance family time and work well, because at the moment I'm probably a bit off skew.
She was born for that kind of a role because she loves surfing so much and because she loves competition and she wants to see the growth the right way. She loves it. It's just what she was born to do, sort of thing, I think.
She's got so much experience and she's all over it, so I'm really stoked that she's got that job.
Yeah, the Olympics are an incredible dream and probably didn't ever think that I'd be part of that journey. It's something that, never realised that would be part of the Olympics to begin with. And then now to be, part of the Australian team going there, it's very exciting and just excited to see where that takes surfing in the mainstream and then how that inspires other generations and where that takes surfing. I think that's the exciting thing about Olympic Games is that it reaches such a big audience and inspires so many people.
As the director of Surfing Australia's high performance program, she's got some big names and big surfing brains to draw on.
Chels, have you got a second there? I know you're really busy over here getting all this data and all these athletes, but I'm thinking that, maybe I might hit go on the rivals heat. What do you reckon? Do you want to have a look at you can tell me.
I already know.
You already...
Leaning on a fellow rival for advice? Not sure if that's wise, Skaz. Maybe former rivals competitor and Olympic surf coach B. Durbidge is a better bet. Who could forget his Stratty Pipe Fest in season 1 of Rivals?
We've got Chelsea there, who definitely has the advantage.
How big do you want it?
I don't know, I reckon 4 foot would be nice.
Well, it's still 4 foot. Like, there'll be 2 swells running, which will make it an SCA.
I've got school pickup, so I really have to go.
When now?
Yes, late to get the
Really?
groceries.
Oh, you better go.
After the break, Kate hits the water for her Rivals heat.
They won't think that Skaz is going to, come out and get a couple waves. They'll just be going, oh, it's all right, don't worry about Skaz. Got my caddies. How good are they? So I've waited, had a coffee, had some brekkie, and got the family with me, and now we're just going to, I think I'm just going to call it on. It's a bit of fun out there. Can't walk away from this.
Well, she's rolled the dice and come up trumps Sunday morning, and it is looking pretty dreamy out there.
Yeah, like what I'm seeing here, Smithy. I think that Kate Skarratt, if she can get the wave, she's going to absolutely tee off, because this is one of surfing's true fun parks. Big backside cracks on this famous point. It's just a matter of getting them off the locals.
Here we go, wave number 1. Up the top of the point there, nice little wrapping manoeuvre back into the power source. Oh, it's not really offering too much, but this thing's bowling up on the inside. Lovely hack out of the top. Oh, that was a vert hit, that was sick.
One of the real style masters of the World Championship Tour throughout those late 90s, early 2000s in fact, and got some big wins too. None bigger than that classic Chopu win, heavy water. She always loved that. From originally way down on the south coast of New South Wales, moved up to the north coast in her teens, and look at this. Wow. Has such an affinity. Grafton, her hometown, is only a couple of hours from this point.
Gee, she found the sweet spot on that one. Just plenty of speed. Hit the section right in the spot, just right in the teeth. Pow!
I think that Kate could be a real dark horse in this rival series. She's just found beautiful pockets here, and you can just see these waves now standing up, allowing Kate to get lots of backside carving in, almost snowboarding away back to the whitewash here, Smithy. And, you know, one of those surfers who not just focuses on her own approach and her own performance, but has spent a big part of her career developing the next wave of talent. Already home from helping our Olympians over in Tokyo, a big part of the Surfing Australia push to get the Irukandji's gold.
Geez, there's a few heads on it. Plenty of the local crew too. Laurie Towner, Navrin Fox, a couple of core lords that know how to pack it and hack it.
Kate Skarratt, just such a fine exponent of style. I think about her era on the CT. It was, you know, I think it was a bit of a generational shift in play. We saw post Lisa Anderson, a new wave coming through. Kate was a part of that. And oh my goodness, I can't believe what I'm seeing here, Smithy. Yet another bunny dropping in on one of the all-time surfing greats from this country.
Yes, that's not what we like to see, but she's unfazed and she's going to work on this thing. Critical manoeuvres, just carving out of the top, plenty of flow. Oh, wow. Look at the technique, Vaughan. Yeah, mother of two, she's had to juggle the responsibilities of raising two young boys with a high-powered job in the Australian surfing industry. None more important than the director of high-performance surfing.
I think what I get most out of Kate's approach, Smith, is stoke. Every time you see her, whether it's in the water, on land, she is buzzing with surf stoke, and it's unreal that she's able to show us what she's still got in that performance.
Looking resplendent in her floral long johns and pink board, Kate Skarratt, aka Kate Wilcomes, wrapping it up there with a solid performance.
Oh, I won't lie, I'm a little bit tired. Feel a little bit weathered. A couple of days surfing. The anticipation of surfing a heat, even though it's not actually a heat, it's still got the adrenaline going, the nerves were there. I know I'm up against some amazing surfers, you know, rivals from back in the day. I want to give my best. Can't let them beat me. Well, they would probably, but that's okay. Did my best. But I think that's the message, is just when you come down to visit these sort of places, you just be respectful. Be respectful of the crew that are here, but also the environment. Anyway, I think that's enough from me. Over and out.
Next week on Rivals, competitive firebrand Samantha Cornish takes to the waves of her native Crescent Head.